this game, don't trust anyone at all. This is a chaotic and supernatural planet. All sorts of monsters have taken over the cities and streets, like agents, zombies, elite monsters near the parasitic signal towers, mutated buses, and so on. But I'm just a newbie. I only have a machete and a bow. I can barely handle a small dungeon, let alone those elite monsters. But this time, I'm not fighting alone. On this planet called Once Human, there are a lot of metas just like me, so I decided to find some poor sap nearby. I rode my motorcycle all around and finally came across this big villa. It must belong to someone rich, so I thought I'd have a friendly chat with the owner. The bed looks pretty good, so I'll just sleep here and wait for him to come back. But what I got in return was an attack with weapons. I asked if I could join his team. Not only did he say no, but he also called me a jerk. Well, now we got beef. But I know where I went wrong. So I thought, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I used a full-on voice changer, made my character female, maxed out the breast size, adjusted the hip size to make it really curvy, and topped it off with pink pigtails. When I logged back in, things were totally different this time. Someone actually came to me, all friendly-like. But when I looked around, there were just a few workbenches and a small stove. I figured he could hardly feed himself. I was about to go look for someone else when he came up and gave me 2 machine guns and a pet that can heal. He even said his big villa was up ahead and wanted to take me to see it. When I saw the 3-story house, but it turned out the drafty little flat next door was his place. And it wasn't even his. It belonged to his friend. Later, he even offered to take me to do dungeons and get some gear. Take this ravenous hunter, for example. Before, I only had a small pistol, and it was like I was just tickling it when I attacked. But now, with 2 machine guns, I can take it on all by myself, no problem. Look, this is a small boss in the main story. It already looks pretty huge, right? But compared to the biggest boss in the game, Manibus, it's only about the size of a palm. The mobile version of this game is coming out on April 23rd. I can't even imagine what that huge monster will look like on a phone. My monitor is over 30 inches, and it can barely fit the boss. It's gotta be really amazing on a phone. After that, the 2 of us ran into all kinds of weird creatures, like this bus with legs. It's called a Wanderer. It crawls around using its 6 big arms. When you attack it, some little monsters pop up. Once you beat it, you can get on the bus and open treasure chests, or you can even ride it to the next stop. Then there's this Burrower. It burrows underground and attacks you, and then it shoots out an electric attack. And there's this Furnace. Its head is a big furnace, and it's wearing overalls. When you weaken it, its head falls off. As we kept moving and fighting, we got a ton of loot, and our power level went way up. Now we're gonna head back to the base and get ready to take on the next big boss in the main story, but on the way there, we ran into an elite monster made of balloons. This thing shoots out balloons and fireworks. You can only do the most damage by hitting the glowing balloons on its head. The Treant is a huge tree spirit made of tree trunks and branches, and there's a woman stuck inside the tree. This thing hits really hard, but it's slow. At the start of the fight, you gotta take out these 3 vines first, and then you can aim for its head. Just remember to dodge the laser and those white balls when you're attacking, because they do a ton of damage. If you beat it, you might get some high-level weapons and crafting materials, but I never would have thought that after we were done fighting, I was gonna take all his stuff and go build my own little villa. But this guy took all my stuff while I was offline. It's like I've been working for him this whole time. Yup, you really can't trust anyone in the apocalypse.